the 1970s, but this prohibition has given rise to a lucrative black market. Branded alcohol for the rich, moonshine, a deadly concoction for the poor. The latter claims hundreds of lives each year. Taha Siddiqui has been investigating in Punjab, where this deadly business is thriving.
Moonshine could be the name of just another cocktail, but in Pakistan, it's shorthand for a deadly brew. The illegal substance is freely available on the black market, and it has often proved fatal for its consumers. Last July in Faisalabad, 30 people died as a result of drinking it. Yaqub Masih, a 45-year-old construction worker, was one of the lucky survivors, but it left him blind.
That day I was working on a construction site, building a roof. A friend of mine came to me and said, "Let's go have a drink." So I took a break and went with him. And now I can only see silhouettes and shadows.
To keep costs low, moonshine manufacturers often add methanol to the mix. The substance is cheap but toxic. After the mass deaths, the police arrested a supplier who lived in this neighborhood. His family claims he was unaware of the toxicity of the substance because his own brother died after consuming the same ill-fated batch.
My other son had gone out for the night. When he came home, he went to bed fine. But the next morning, we tried to wake him up, and he was already dead.
This preservant agent, this is not for drink. So, but it's give the highness like wine and smell like wine. So that's why he mixed and used it. It's a greediness, what we can say. This is greediness.
So far, 11 people have been jailed in this case and could face a death sentence if convicted. Despite the high risk, many continue this lucrative trade. One such manufacturer agreed to be interviewed at an indoor distillery he has made in his kitchen. To make the moonshine, he uses brown sugar, pieces of tree bark, and water. He claims his product, which he sells in plastic bags, is perfectly safe. The business earns him €80 a month, enough to support his family.
This is a booming trade if you don't get caught by the police. If I get caught, my children will have nothing to eat. The police will confiscate everything I have.
The black market also offers branded alcohol, but it's usually expensive. For the poor, the only affordable option is toxic moonshine. That it results in over 100 deaths a year is something they try not to think about.
Now for more, we're joined by the France 24 correspondent in Islamabad, Rabia Mahmoud. Hello, Rabia. So the government says it's cracking down on this dangerous brew. Is it having any success?
Well, yes, we do have these men and suspects who were arrested under trial in various areas of Punjab and in Sindh. And the crackdown is underway as well, but it does not have the desired effect. And it looks like that these are only going to be temporary measures for some time, because this is the kind of business which would flourish. There is a percentage of population that drinks alcohol, and they cannot afford to drink anything better than what is available in these markets or other than these means. So it looks like, looking at how it has been in the past, where they, on local level, there have been crackdowns before, but police can also be bought, and in some cases they're also involved in the trade, and so and looking at the corruption on lower levels in the police department and other government organizations, it looks like that it would not have a desired long-term effect when it comes to putting a curb on these people who are selling this drink.
And in other news, Rabia, Pakistan's Prime Minister is in the US for the annual UN General Assembly. What else is on his itinerary?
Well, we do know that he's addressing the UNGA on the 27th of September. Other than that, on his agenda are various meetings regarding the Millennium Development Goals, meetings on with United Nations Security Council's arms department, all small and then on education. During one of his meetings, Malala Yousafzai is expected to be there as well. But the main agenda, which a lot of people from the region are going to be observing closely, is the meeting on the sidelines of the UNGA with his counterpart in India, Prime Minister Manmohan Singh of India, and that is a historic meeting because it's his first after him coming into the office of Prime Minister, and also historic because Nawaz in the 97 was involved in a very historic landmark almost peace agreement with the then Indian government, and after that a coup happened and he had to leave the country. So Nawaz, being a very prime proponent and advocate of peace between India and Pakistan, more than any other statement that Pakistan has had, that meeting is going to be closely observed and very important for regional peace as well, considering that there were skirmishes on the line of control between India and Pakistan just in August.
Rabia Mahmood, France 24's correspondent in Islamabad, thank you for bringing us today's Asia Live. And coming up, Catherine Nicholson is here as Live from Paris continues with all the latest on the continuing siege in Nairobi. 1 or 2 gunmen are still said to be holed up. Gunfire has been heard. Stay with us. Live from Paris continues.